All right, today we're doing a strategic briefing on imposter syndrome, but we're going to look at this a little differently. We're not going to treat it as some kind of personal failing or a confidence issue. Instead, we're going to break it down for what it is, a system, a predictable, almost mechanical loop that high performers can absolutely learn to interrupt.
So here's our plan. First, we'll redefine the problem itself. Then we'll actually map out the architecture of this feedback loop. After that, we'll introduce a system designed specifically to interrupt it, talk about why speed is so critical here, and finally, look at the real-world outcomes of breaking that loop.
And this is the core idea for our entire briefing. The conventional wisdom about just building more confidence, it completely misses the mark. You have to understand, we're dealing with a recurring, self-sustaining process, not some static lack of self-belief.
Okay, so for high-performing leaders, treating this as anything other than an operational issue is, frankly, a strategic error. This isn't about how you feel, it's about how you function under pressure.
And this loop, it has very real consequences. See, when it's running, your brain's threat detection system is in the driver's seat, and it's overriding all the hard evidence of your competence. And the direct result of that? Well, it slows down your decisions, it suppresses your presence in the room, and it fundamentally erodes your momentum.
So let's actually deconstruct the architecture of that loop. It's not random, it's not mysterious. It's a predictable, mechanical process that runs in the background, just eating up your cognitive resources and undermining your authority.
And the sequence is always the same. It starts with a trigger, high visibility, some critical feedback, a new role. This immediately activates an internal threat-based script. Then your body responds with stress, which literally narrows your perception. And all of that leads to a behavioral outcome. You hesitate, you over-prepare, you stay quiet when you should speak up, and finally, that behavior reinforces the initial belief. The loop confirms itself, gets stronger, and just waits for the next trigger.
Okay, so we've mapped the problem's architecture. Now let's shift to the solutions. We're not talking about long-term mindset work or deep introspection here. We are talking about an interruption system, a neurological reset designed for immediate deployment.
And this is crucial. This is not about long-term emotional processing. It's a tactical method. It's designed to disrupt that threat response as it's happening and immediately restore your ability to make clear judgments. This is all about mechanics, not motivation.
This whole reset system is built on 3 integrated components. Each one has a very specific job to do, and they all work together to bring back clarity and control as efficiently as possible.
The first component is all about precise diagnosis. So instead of that vague feeling of self-doubt, you identify the specific threat pattern that's running. Is it a fear of being exposed? A fear of not meeting expectations? Just by giving it a name, you externalize it. You shift from being inside the emotion to observing a mechanical process. And just naming the mechanism is the first step to disarming it.
Component 2 is the circuit breaker. This is a predefined cognitive action that interrupts that physiological threat response. You deliberately shift your focus from the internal story to a specific external data point, a number on a spreadsheet, a clause in a contract, the color of the wall. By doing that, you starve the emotional hijack of the attention it needs to gain any real momentum.
And the final component re-anchors your behavior. After you've interrupted the loop, you don't pause to reflect on it. No, you immediately pivot to your next intended action, based on objective evidence, not leftover fear. This deliberate forward motion is what stops the loop from just restarting, and it's what actively rebuilds self-trust as your go-to operational default.
Now, the core design principle of this whole system is speed. Think about it. For a leader, an intervention that takes hours or days is completely useless. The interruption has to happen in real time, at the very moment self-trust is needed most. That's what makes it mission critical.
Let's talk operational reality. You need a system you can deploy silently right in the middle of a board meeting, or in the 30 seconds before you make a high-stakes call, or when all eyes are on you. It is built for deployment under pressure, when there's simply no time for reflection.
So what's the actual practical outcome of all this? Let's wrap up with a clear analysis of what really changes when you go from being managed by the loop to actively managing its interruption.
I mean, the contrast is stark. It's night and day. On one side, the uninterrupted loop, it sustains paralysis. It erodes your presence. It forces you to overcompensate and shy away from key opportunities. But on the other side, the reset system, that enables faster, cleaner decisions. It restores your presence. It reduces your cognitive load. And it gives you consistent access to your own self-trust.
So look, The goal here isn't to eliminate self-doubt forever. That's not realistic. The objective is to have a reliable system that, under pressure, replaces the internal noise of the imposter loop with the clarity of your own grounded judgment. And that shift, that is what changes everything.